Hey guys, Suarez Digital here. First off, thank you so much for 850 subscribers. It really means the world to me, and I will continue to make more wholesome content for you all. The Sonic 3 movie trailer has been released. Everyone's going crazy over Shadow the Hedgehog. Fans love everything about him, all the way to the fact that he's being voiced by Keanu Reeves, which is a sentiment that I unfortunately do not share. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I personally do not care about Keanu Reeves, and I honestly don't think he's the best pick to voice Shadow the Hedgehog. Maybe it's the fact that I personally don't care about celebrities, or it's possibly the fact that I do believe there are a lot of great voice actors that would have fit the role a lot better. Like literally any of Shadow's old voice actors would have done a phenomenal job. Just a disclaimer that I will give him a chance, and I will give a final rating after I've seen the movie. And I know what a lot of people are saying. Suarez Digital. Reeves is a perfect voice actor. His voice and tone delivery perfectly capture the brooding, lonely, emo, silent type that Shadow is. And to that, I say, huh? I don't believe that Shadow, at least in the first game, had any of those qualities. There is so much more to Shadow than just that. So today, I'm going to break down the personality types that I see in Shadow based on his very first video game appearance in Sonic Adventure 2. Let's take a look back at Shadow's first appearance. When we first met him in Sonic Adventure 2, he was never this brooding, emo, lonely, silent type that the memes make him out to be. What was he like? Well, I would argue that he was more of a no-nonsense, matter-of-fact, and straight-to-the-point individual. When I first played the game, this is why I loved Shadow, because he was the exact opposite of Sonic. Dark and edgy? Hardly. Shadow was cool, calm, collected, and calculated. Unlike Sonic, who was portrayed as someone who spoke the first thing on his mind, Shadow only talked when he had something to say, and boy did he have a lot to say. Like, this hedgehog talks. A lot.
I've been waiting for you, Doctor. Now, I will show the glorious achievement of what the world's leading scientist, Professor Gerald, has created. The Ark was the first space colony created by mankind. Not many people know that the Ark contained a top-secret research facility, where weapons of mass destruction were being created. This is one of them, a weapon capable of destroying an entire planet, codenamed the Eclipse Cannon. But it's been deactivated for some time now. To reactivate it, large amounts of energy are necessary.
Shadow's also not a loner. In this game, he is a team player, and he follows the plans established by Team Dark. While they might not be friends, they do work together very well to achieve their common goals, and he plays his role very well in this team storyline. He doesn't contradict orders given to him or sees himself above others, and most of the time he does listen to Eggman when he's told what to do.
Then, Shadow will enter the armory, where he will set the timer on these dynamite packs. Once that is in place, we will blow up the whole island and get away before anyone has a chance to know what hit them. Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Shadow, they're in that blue plane. Spotted at 11 o'clock.
Copy that. I'm in pursuit.
Wait, Shadow. I'm the one who should be telling them the end is near, not you. If something happens, I'm counting on you to finish the job.
And when he believes Rouge could be useful to their cause, he gives a silent nod of approval to Eggman. Again, both of them respect each other and cover their bases. More importantly, Shadow. Shadow covers his weaknesses with the strengths of others in order to achieve his goals because he is smart and calculating. If there are risks, the benefits hugely outweigh them. And I know what you're all saying. Suarez Digital. Shadow thinks he's superior to Sonic. He constantly talks down to Sonic and calls him an imposter and fake Hedgehog. I have to ask, did we play the same game? In this game, Sonic and Shadow meet a total of 4 times. The first time in the city, where Shadow is monologuing dramatically with his Chaos Emerald.
It all starts with this, a duel containing the ultimate power. Now I know what's going on.
As you saw and heard, Sonic insulted Shadow first. Shadow was just minding his own business, then comes along Sonic, who calls him a fake hedgehog, and then tries to throw hands. Shadow, being the bigger hedgehog, merely introduces himself, then leaves. So with that said, 1 point to Sonic for the name calling. The second time, they meet in prison island jungle forest thing. Again, Shadow's minding his business, committing war crimes, and here comes along Sonic. Keep in mind, Shadow refers to Sonic as that blue hedgehog. You know, respectfully as possible because he doesn't know Sonic. And how does Sonic respond? By calling Shadow a faker.
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh. You're not even good
I'll
enough to
make
be
you eat
my
those
pet.
words.
Now Shadow, being the calculated hedgehog he is, simply retorts with a witty comeback. As one of us would after being insulted twice, Sonic is clearly in the wrong here, and Shadow only insulted Sonic because, well, Sonic started it. 2 points against Sonic. The third time they meet is in each story's respective final showdown, and as you see in this scene, Shadow clearly has nothing but respect for Sonic. Sonic in return actually never really acknowledges Shadow. And the final time they meet is when Shadow comes in to fight the Bio Lizard in the final storyline. Again, not much happens here, they just turn into Super Sonic right after. But Sonic's not off the hook just yet. Here is how Shadow speaks of Sonic when Sonic is off screen.
I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
He expresses disappointment, but not actually at Sonic, but more so the idea of what Sonic represented. Shadow knows his own potential, so he expected Sonic to be about the same, again, as an equal, especially considering the feats that he pulled off in this game alone. And to see Sonic die just like that, was disappointing for him when he expected so much more. Now, here's how Sonic speaks of Shadow when Shadow is off screen.
The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog.
You mean that black hedgehog?
Did you see it? Where is it?
Yeah, I love Sonic, but he's not gonna get away from these allegations. Sonic spends the whole game calling Shadow a faker. And let's be honest, Sonic, you need to humble yourself because you aren't the only hedgehog around. Or maybe he is in this game because I've never actually seen another hedgehog. Or the fact that there might not be multiple hedgehogs and that Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog are clearly the only hedgehogs that exist in this world, which arguably would make sense then at that point because that would explain the whole confusion they had going on with the characters and why they confused Shadow for Sonic, despite the fact that these characters look clearly nothing alike. It is very similar to how in the real world, a lot of people say that, Latin Americans all look the same. Sometimes as a Mexican, some people think I'm Cuban. Heck, some people think I'm Middle Eastern because I have a beard and I'm brown. By the way, I'm Mexican, but that's the thing too. No one really cares about that. Everyone's gonna look at me and be like, brown person, XYZ characteristics, blah. So I get it if everyone confuses the only two hedgehogs alive in this world as the same character. Anyways, my 2 cents are over. But that's my take on Shadow. I am bummed that he's been reduced to memes and that his personality has been memed to death. I'm looking at you, Sonic Prime and Sonic Boom. Sadly, the personality of the brooding emo has taken full effect and is now his default personality. Personally, I do hope they do more with his character than just that, especially for the movie. However, just like I stated before, just as movies Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman are completely different interpretations of the original game counterparts, I am open to seeing a completely new interpretation of Shadow the Hedgehog as well. I just hope that it's done fairly because, again, I like the memes, but we have a chance to revitalize this character and make it more grand than they actually are or have ever been. Again, it's 2024. It's the year of Shadow. Let's make something big happen.